What's up, everybody? Welcome to the M-Files. Today I'm going to be checking out Saramonic UWMIC9, which is a UHF dual wireless microphone system for your DSLR. A lot of people have abandoned UHF and they're going for the digital technology such as the Rode Filmmaker. However, the Rode Filmmaker is pricey and you can actually get two microphones for the price of one. As you can see here on B&H Photo, the Rode Link Wireless Filmmaker Kit is $400 and you only get one receiver and one transmitter. Now, though digital is nice, if you're willing to go UHF for the same price, you can actually get two transmitters and one receiver with the Saramonic system. Now, during my course of run and gun shooting, a lot of times I use this thing here, which is a Video Micro made by Rode. It comes with a dead cat. This thing is awesome, and let me tell you why it's so awesome. It doesn't require batteries. So you will never be in a situation that you're out in the field and you're trying to do some things and you don't have an extra battery and your really nice, expensive mic gives out on you and gives you problems and grief. This is your solution right here. This thing sounds amazing, but I'm not talking about directional miking. I'm talking about being in situations where you need to actually be away from the camera but still be heard, so a lavalier mic is your best solution. But if you are in the market for an inexpensive run and gun microphone, Rode Video Micro is the ultimate way to go. As you can see here, it is a #1 seller and it's only $60, attaches directly to the camera, plugs right in, and the sound is awesome. So if a lavalier setup's not for you, this would be the way to go. So let's get into some unboxing and see what this equipment actually looks like. While filming the review of the Saramonic system for you guys, UPS came by and dropped off the Rode Reporter. It's a handheld omnidirectional microphone. You can use it out in the field if you want to do interviews or you're out in the streets or whatever. And it brought up a good point that I was leaving out. Saramonic also makes a plug-on XLR transmitter that works directly with the UWMIC9 UHF wireless microphone system, which is insanely awesome because now you've got multiple setups. You've got two lavalier microphones that can go onto one receiver, or you can use one lavalier setup to the receiver and also use the XLR plug-on transmitter with a handheld, and you can be in the field doing interviews, things of this nature. I could be wrong, but I don't think that this is actually doable on the Rode system. The Filmmaker actually comes with just one receiver and one transmitter, and I've read online that you can't have multiple transmitters on one receiver. So then I feel it's pretty safe to assume that you couldn't even attach the handheld mic to the same receiver if you were using the Filmmaker kit, which is what makes Saramonic so awesome. I just hope that it lives up to my expectations. Now that I've done the unboxing, I'm going to switch my cameras and we're going to get into some field testing. So I have the A6500 here. As you can see, I have a small rig cage on it, not only to protect the camera, but it also allows you to add multiple attachments to the camera. So I've mounted the Saramonic receiver with a hot shoe mount here, as you can see, and we're going to power this device up. Maybe you have to hold it longer. There we go. Alright, so it's powering up, and you can see what's on the screen here. So, we will also power up the transmitter. And maybe I should take a look at the directions right fast. I don't know. I haven't looked at the directions still, but it appears that these two are connected. If you set your display, and I'm sure most of you guys know this, but if you set your display, you have a meter, and it looks as if test, 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 test. Whoa, you see the red? And if I back it off, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and go into the test with this thing. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I just hit record, and I have the receiver set up at 25 on the volume. My A6500 audio level recording is set to 14, and we're gonna see how this works. I'm gonna walk around the pool. I'm gonna go to the other side of the pool and we'll see what happens. And if you can still hear me from this point, then I know it's probably hooked up right, which is a good thing. So if you can actually hear me from back here, I would say this is easily 20 feet away. I can't go too much further, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, if you're out there pranking people or you're doing whatever, you're only gonna be like maybe up to 40, 50 feet away at best. And I have seen other reviews where this system that I'm actually using right now can actually go up to about 200, 250 feet. Not that you would really need to go that far, but it's the options available if you need to. So I'm gonna come back over, turn the camera off, hit playback, and we'll see how this works. And then we'll talk about settings and different things like that. So let's see if it worked. The last test seemed to work out really well. So now I'm over here standing by my air conditioning unit, and right down there, that pink flamingo back in that corner is probably about 50 feet. So we're gonna try that. So I'm just gonna walk by this loud, noisy air conditioning unit. And that's one of the things I wanna be worried about. Because if you're actually using this setup out in the real world, you're gonna have noise, you're gonna have people, you're gonna have things like that. So standing by this little clunker, tuna can, old raggedy ass thing I need to replace, I just need to make sure that you can actually still hear me with that going on. So that was a test for that. Now with that being said, I'm just gonna walk away over here, and I'm going back in this corner way over here, and we'll see exactly how this holds up. I'm hoping it does well, and if it does, and then you can actually connect the handheld mic to this as well, which I should get the transmitter for that tomorrow, then that will actually make this a very awesome setup. Now, one of the downfalls that I've been hearing about this setup is that it does use AA batteries. So by using the AA batteries, from what I've been hearing on most reviews, is the life expectancy is about an hour. That's a downfall. But you know, at the same time, what you just have to do is be prepared for these things to happen, and you actually have AA batteries with you when you're out in the field shooting, or your own location, or whatever the situation is. So that way you're prepared for these malfunctions to happen. And I'm just talking and rambling basically at this point, just to make sure that I constantly use the mic while I'm filming. So how's that? Did it work? So one other thing that I wanted to test is the mute button. Can you hear me now? I guess that worked, because when you press the mute button, you get a red flashing indicator that mute is engaged. Now, I hear a lot of people complain about this system. One of the biggest complaints is that there's no volume on the actual transmitter itself, which is true. There's no volume, so you can't set your volume directly on the transmitter. It has to be done by the receiver. With that being said, I will take that gripe gladly, because you have two lavalier mic systems on one receiver, and then, like I said, you can also take one of the lavaliers off and XLR plug on a omnidirectional handheld microphone for reporting things of that nature. So for me, once I actually edit this and hear how the audio quality sounds, this might be the best bang for the buck, because it's also expandable. One of the nifty features about this setup is that if you have a studio such as mine, where you have a mixing board and whatnot, you can drop your DSLR attachment, and you can actually plug in your XLR attachment, and then your receiver can plug directly into your mixing board. I use broadcasting mics in my studio. I prefer that way, but I might give this a shot. My only fear is the battery life. When I do live shows and whatnot, I usually do about an hour or so. So if the batteries only maintain an hour, that's an issue, and why kill batteries when you have mics? This thing says phone on here. Okay, so let's try out the phone. In order for this to work, you're going to have something that converts TRS to TRRS, which is a 3.5 millimeter. This is a Rode adapter, pretty cheap, 15 bucks. But you're going to have to go from TRS to TRRS. So I would use my other Rode cable for the microphone, and we'll punch in here. And let's see how this works. So you can pull up the camera. Alright, so there's the mic. There's us. This is us right here. We're going to see if this works. So, hand unit, receiver. Okay, that's all on. So let's see if this works. Mic check 1 2. We're trying to see if the transmitter goes to the receiver and works into the phone. I'm sure it will, but this just raises even more awesomeness about this product. Let's test it. Alright, so checking playback. Mic check 1 2. We're trying to see if the transmitter goes to the receiver and works into the phone. I'm sure it will, but this just raises even more awesomeness about this product. Let's test it. That makes it even more awesome than it already was. So if you're like me and you go out in the field and you need to use your camera to pre-record video and maybe do live stream, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, you can mount up and have great audio. Now I'm sure the audio probably wasn't the best in that clip, but then again you can make adjustments on the volume on the receiver and everything will come out fine. Overall, I'm extremely impressed with the Saramonic UWMIC9 UHF dual wireless microphone system for your DSLR. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative and maybe helped you make up your mind about your future purchase. If you've enjoyed this content, be sure to share, like, and subscribe for future videos like this to come. Take care and see you next time.